Hello and welcome to another lesson for QuickBooks Online. In this lesson we're going to talk about a not so exciting topic, and that is paying bills. We'll start out by looking at paying bills that were in a purchase order, meaning we had at one point ordered some products or supplies from a vendor, and then we were sent the products or supplies, and now we need to pay the bill for those products or supplies. Only once we pay the bill will the inventory be adjusted to show that we have that product. For example, if we're buying additional inventory, it won't show that we got the inventory till we have the bill set up. If we just do a purchase order, it doesn't impact the inventory because ordering something does not mean you have it, but when you get the bill, that's when it shows you have it. So we're going to set up the bill, but we're not going to pay the bill yet. We'll see that in a second. So let's look at how we would pay bills off of a purchase order. So we'll go to New, and then we'll select Bill. So for the vendor, I'm going to select Tim Phillip Masonry, and on the right it shows you the current purchase order that's open, purchase order 1002. Now if you had another bill from Tim Phillip Masonry and you wanted to pay that without impacting the purchase order, you would just not add it. But if you want to just go ahead and add this to the bill, in other words, you sent them a purchase order, you received the rock fountain, so let's go ahead and add that to the bill. And so now you can see it's down here. So the category, this would be for something like expenses, advertising, or if you got a service from Tim Phillip Masonry, but we didn't. We got a product. So we're going to close the category detail to minimize it, and we're going to look at the item that we have, which is the rock fountain, and then we can make adjustments. If this goes to the customer, we can put that which customer this rock fountain goes to here. However, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just save it. Now if you save and schedule the payment, that means that you'll set your account up with an outside bank or credit card. We don't have that because this is a testing environment. So we're just going to save and close. Let's say we want to order something and we don't have a purchase order. In other words, we're going to just order something from another vendor. This time we'll use Tanya's Nursery. At Tanya's Nursery, we're going to order some sod and some equipment to use for a job. For the category, we're going to get some equipment. So we're going to rent sod equipment. And then the amount that we're paying Tanya's for that, let's say $100. Is this tied to a customer? You can include that information, and if it's tied to a customer, is it taxable? We're not going to worry with that at this point. It's just available for you if that's the case. Then for the product, we're going to order some soil, and we'll order 30 bags. And again, if it's a customer and if it's billable and taxable, that's where you indicate that. You can either schedule the payment or not. And since this is a testing environment, we can't schedule the payment. But that's something that you could set up to where it's attached to a bank account or a credit card account, so you can schedule the payment for later. We'll go ahead and save and close. So we have several bills and some bills that were already input into the system. So what happens when it comes time to pay those bills? So we'll hit the New button and then Pay Bills. Here's all the bills that we have in the system that are there, including the one for Tim's Masonry and Tanya's Nursery that we just put in. And notice we have a red arrow for the ones that are past due. You can change the way that the bills are displayed in alphabetical order by payee by just clicking it, or maybe it's more convenient to put due date, and so this will put the stuff that's due first. And then how are you going to pay? Are you going to use a MasterCard? Are you going to use a savings account, checking account, or Visa? And then the payment date in which it was made. So you're going to pay these bills, and then now you're putting the fact that you paid the bills into the system. So if you paid them yesterday, then you would want to change that date to yesterday's date. Then you just click the bills that you paid, and so we went ahead and paid all the bills that were due, and then you can again schedule the payment. But we're going to just save and close. So what we just did was tell QuickBooks, our accounting system, that we paid those bills. So you would pay those bills, then you would go back in, and then you would tell the QuickBooks that you paid them, unless you had a connection between QuickBooks and an account. So just now, by just saving, we didn't actually pay them. We were just telling QuickBooks that we paid them.